many systems have one or a number of these sectors that we're talking about. The slap and hit, the inside parrying hit, cut, outside parrying hit. They have variations of this. And I could see somebody saying, well, so what's the big deal already? Well, I think that what's so substantial and interesting about this series of material is particularly when you get into the interrelationships of the sectors. In other words, previously we were saying that here are the different sectors according to what your positions, your relative positions are, what sector seems to be the most efficient one to go in at the moment, and then hopefully you effect a good hit and follow up. However, it's very, very possible that as you are hitting, or rather hitting into the sector, you're doing your sector technique, he's coming with a second punch. And so it's real important to examine how, if you're in one sector, in the middle of one sector, what does that lead to logically to deal with the cross, since the jab cross, the old 1-2, is such a primary thing. Now first I'll just say that when I'm facing Mark, that you always want to be ready that, let's say he punches and he stems, bang, and then I didn't take his lights out because he was just rough and tough, and so he throws that rear hook. Bam, then there's just your old, your block and hit. Okay, again, he throws that, and I went here, and all of a sudden the hook comes. Whoa, I at least cover, and here we are, bang, into these other things that we've talked about. If it's like I was trying to split, but it turned out that it was a fake jab to a hook, okay, whoop, bam, then again, here you are with this stuff. Or at the very least, again, okay, when the thing comes, so whoop, and then as he goes to the hook, whoop, bam, I'm here. Or possibly even, as we've talked about, if I just wasn't with it until the very, very last instant, then when he fakes the jab and goes to the hook, okay, whoop, bam, and then coming back into your, after your bob and weave. So just because we're doing sectoring primarily against the jab and cross right now, it doesn't mean that you should forget your other material. It's all to be joined with the other material. Indeed, that when he punches, that here, and all of a sudden he throws the low cross, okay, bang, that's when you trap it down. Or when he punches high, bang, and he throws the low cross, you could again trap it down here and hit here. So you're always still waiting for the other sectors, although the main issue right now is against the jab cross, just because it's a real important set of material. People will hit high and low and all over, but they tend to be headhunters. They tend to go for the face. It's kind of like, seems to be just psychologically the seat of the personality, and so that's why people will tend to try and hit you in the face rather than do something more efficient, like eyes, throat, thigh, although sometimes go for the groin.